Day one of development camp is now officially in the books, and there are a few prospects that you should keep an eye out for. I got the player profiles throughout the entirety of this episode. We have a lot to discuss in today's episode of Locked On Devils. Buckle up, everybody. Be excited for the futures because the NHL All-Stars of tomorrow were able to put on a brief show for us media personnel.
You're Locked On Devils, your daily podcast on the New Jersey Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, this is Bryce Salvador, and you're Locked On Devils with Trey Matthews.
Scores! Oh, Stevens stepped up, nailed him. Brodor's got the puck. What a shot. The Devils win the Stanley Cup.
Alrighty now, what is up, New Jersey? Welcome back to the Locked On Devils podcast here on Locked On Network. I'm your host, college hockey play-by-play announcer, Devils writer for Pucks and Pitchforks, and also part-time credential media member Trey Matthews. I am coming to you live from RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House as day one of development camp has concluded for the New Jersey Devils. Now, as many of you know, it's kind of hard to gauge development camp, especially on the first day. It's mostly a practice, and we know the point of development camp is basically to get an early gauge to see how some of the prospects are developing, no pun intended, for the Devils. It also gives some players a chance to try out and possibly punch their ticket to the NHL or at least get their foot in the door. But nonetheless, it was still a great experience, was able to get a lot of sound bites. And speaking of which, that's how we're going to construct today's episode because, like I said, it was mostly a practice. It was a chance for a lot of the players to get their feet wet. So there's not really much for me to dissect for the time being. Obviously, when we get to the scrimmages, which I believe is going to happen on Wednesday and also Friday, then we'll have a more full-fledged breakdown. But for the time being, some of the players had a lot to share. So that's what I'm going to do on today's episode. I'm going to give you guys a brief background on each prospect I'm going to play the soundbite for. I'm sure many of you already know their history, where they were drafted or whatever the case might be, but still want to provide you guys some of the scouting report courtesy of Elite Prospects. So the first prospect whose soundbite I'm going to play, as you guys know, the Devils did not have a first-round selection in this year's draft, but the first pick for the Devils in 2023 was Lenni Hameenaho. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but here's the scouting report. There's no doubt about Hameenaho's best quality being his intelligence. He's an extremely smart off-the-puck player at both ends of the rink. He finds quiet ice and pockets of space in the offensive zone, popping in and out of the slot, anticipating possible passing lanes and rebound opportunities. So here's Lenny's post-practice press conference. I had the chance to ask him a few questions. Hopefully you guys enjoy the soundbite. Take it away.
What it's like to finally be here. Obviously, I'm sure the last couple of weeks have been a lot.
Yeah, it's been crazy last 2 weeks, but yeah, I'm happy that I am here now.
When did you arrive, and what are you sort of taking in from this experience?
Yeah, we arrived Saturday evening with other Finnish guys, and yeah, it's been a little bit tough first days about time differences and stuff like that, but it's getting better.
What are you hoping to take out of this experience?
Yeah, it's great to see the organization stuff here, other players who are drafted for the Devils, so it's great to be here.
So do you know anybody else who's here? Or?
Yeah, I know the Finnish guys who are here also, but otherwise all guys are new for me.
Does that make it easier to have some friends and people you know from Finland with you?
Yeah, of course it's helping a lot that here is Finnish guys and one Finnish coach that I know, Esa Pirne, so that's a good thing.
Ever since being drafted, I know you've only been here for a short amount of time, but how's it been being a part of the Devils organization?
Yeah, it's been great. I have met the staff and teammates here, so yeah, I have enjoyed my time here.
Do you have any goals set for yourself this upcoming year?
Yeah, I think smartest move for me is to play in Finland next year, be a bigger player for the team there and get more ice time than last year.
For anyone who hasn't seen, what are some of your greatest achievements this past season?
Yeah, I think I was able to play in men's league whole year, was able to getting more ice time more and more, and yeah, was able to in playoffs score goals and play good there also. So I think it was a good season for me.
If I was a scout watching you, I describe yourself as kind of game you play?
Yeah, I think I'm more offensive zone player. I like to be with the puck. I think I'm smart player and can create scoring chances to myself and my line mates.
What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, it was unbelievable feeling, of course, with my family and me also, and was happy to be a New Jersey Devils player.
And what do you think you gained from that experience last year, and then wanting to go back to Finland? What do you sort of hope you can bring your game to next?
Yeah, I think I hope that next year I can bring more my offensive zone game, my skills there, put up more goals and be better at power play, what I think is my strength too. So I think that's what I want to improve most for next season.
In the team you're going to play with, is there that room for you to grow there?
I think we have talked with the coach that he sees and I see that I can take the next step and bigger role next year.
Lenny, when you got drafted, anybody on the Devils reach out to you?
Sorry?
When you were drafted, who on the Devils reached out to you, would they say?
I don't know.
Any of the players on the Devils reach out to you when you were drafted?
No.
Lenny, how about the impact of your brother? What kind of impact has he made on your career, and what was it like growing up with your brother? Did you guys play hockey all the time? And
Yeah, it was big. Of course, we played in the same team. I think since we moved to Pori, yeah, it was big thing for me, and I love to play with my brother.
was there anyone, I saw that's the team you played for in Liga, right? Was there anyone in particular, a veteran player that you went to for advice, for anything that would kind of help you, guide you along? Any player in particular?
Yeah, I think we had good experienced guys there. Jesse Oensu, who have played in NHL and good leagues before. I think he was, of course, he was our captain, and he was helping me a lot too.
What did you learn from him about leadership, about being a leader, that type of thing?
Yeah, I think that he just showed what it to be a professional player, what to do every day in the rink and give your 100% and lead the team.
Do you know Topias Vilen that's here?
Yeah, I know.
What do you think of him?
Yeah, I think he's a great player. He was playing so good last year in Liga and playoffs. I think he will be a really good player in the future.
He's a strong guy. Those are his strengths? He's a tough type defender?
Yeah, I think I have played against him, and he's that kind of player that it's not easy to play against him, so yeah.
Before we continue with more sound bites and behind the scenes action, let me tell you guys about FanDuel. So take your first swing at betting MLB on FanDuel and get 10 times your first bet amount in bonus bets up to $200. That's right, just $20 and you'll land $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. There's $200 you can spend betting everything from money line to the over and under to who you think is going to get the first home run, all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Plus, when you win, you can get paid instantly. There's no better place on MLB than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So sign up today and visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get up to $200 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball. Next player on the docket is Seamus Casey. His technique as a handler is nearly perfect, and he's as comfortable on the forehand as he is on the backhand, as comfortable blending in the first touch or pass reception into a dangle as he is dangle into a pass or a shot. It's a real thing of a beauty to watch the right-hand defender when he's feeling it with the puck on his stick. So here's what Seamus Casey had to say shortly after day one of development camp.
I like sort of being here now a second time round. Does it feel a lot easier?
Yeah, I mean, just knowing everyone, it's a lot of fun to be back. Like, it's such a welcoming environment, and seeing a lot of the same guys again. There's some new faces, which is fun to meet new people, but seeing everyone again is a lot of fun, and they do a great job on the ice and off the ice. I'm excited to get going for the rest of the week.
Can you talk a little bit about your season in Michigan and just how things went and that first experience of that NCAA?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, first of all, I love my teammates and our staff. That's what makes it great at Michigan. Just being surrounded by those guys every day was, made the season easy. We had a pretty good year. Came up short in the end, but hopefully we can do better next year. But yeah, it was a good year. Started off like there's always you got your things to learn as a freshman, but I think our seniors and older guys did a great job of like bringing us in and teaching us the ropes a little bit. So it was a good year.
When you're in a second development camp, is it almost easier to take a lot of the things in because you know your way around? You sort of know a lot of those things.
Yeah, I think I learned a lot from the guys last year and some of the guys that were playing in Utica, and you just take what you can every day, and it's like similar schedule, kind of, and like I said, knowing the staff, like coming in, you just kind of feel like at least knowing the building this time around, like everything just kind of feels more less stressful, I guess. So yeah, it's definitely better.
And what are those things that someone can take away from a camp like this?
I think like watching like the older guys last year, like they work so hard, but they're not stressed out. Like they're just taking it, drill by drill, day by day. And I think like I kind of started to realize that towards the end of the camp, just like that's something I took away, like maybe halfway through the camp last year, and coming in this year, like I knew I just have fun and like work hard. Like you're here for a reason. Everyone's here for a reason. So once you kind of accept that, and things get kind of easy out there, just in your mind.
Seamus, what can you say about the time Luke had in the playoffs and what he taught you this year, what he was able to teach you?
Yeah, I mean, it was so fun watching him. Like, we were all watching those games, and just so proud of him. Like, to step in right away like that and have an impact is special. It's not something you get to see very often. So, I think, like, the thing about Luke is he's just so, like, kind of chill. Like, he's just, like, ups and downs. Like, he takes them so well. That's one thing, just learning from him. Like, anytime, like, making mistakes or making good plays, he's just so even-keeled out there. So, I'd say that's one thing I've taken from him.
What are some of the things you're continuing to work on to add to your game?
I think strength is a big thing. I've put on a little bit of weight this summer and spring. Thanks to my trainers back home and my strength coach in Michigan. That's a big thing. And then just continuing to work on finding new ways to improve, on the ice.
What are some of the goals you've set for yourself this season?
My goal is kind of to gain like about 10 pounds of muscle. You want to do it the right way, like eating the right way. Slowly. You don't want to just kind of throw on a bunch of weight for no reason. I think that's the biggest focus right now, and then just continuing to figure out what I can do on the ice. How to take away space as a defenseman and how to gain space. Playing offense. Just always trying to figure out new ways to do that.
For anybody who might not be aware, what were some of the highlights for yourself this past season?
I think making it to the Frozen Four in Tampa is just kind of the biggest thing. Winning a Big Ten championship, back to back. I wasn't obviously there the last year, but it was a big accomplishment for the program, and those are our two biggest. And that was a lot of fun and definitely not easy to do. So hopefully we can get back there.
Are you more of a defensive type defenseman, Seamus, or how would you describe your game?
I always say a two-way defenseman. I like to add a lot of offense when I can, but defense is my game. Like and can't really say offensive defenseman because I'm a defenseman first. So I like to say two-way defenseman, but I like to play as much offense when I can, and whenever I can get that puck in my stick and make a play, I like to.
Seamus, what can you say about the versatility of your game? I know you've even done some forward a little bit there too, right?
Yeah. I think at first you're a hockey player. Something when I was getting recruited in Michigan, that was one thing they said, just be a hockey player. I remember I took that kind of literal. Like you should know how to play every position, and you should know what to do in kind of every situation. Generally, if you're a defenseman and you don't know the responsibility of a winger, it's stuff you got to know. So I think that can add to your value to any team in any situation.
Is that camp in Plymouth something you're looking forward to too? I mean, you can actually use this as kind of a springboard, huh?
Yeah, I can't wait. Anytime you get to, first of all, I love seeing all those guys again and that staff. It's always a great time in Plymouth. Anytime I get to go back, I'm glad to. I think it's so competitive, here and there. Whenever you're in a competitive environment like that, you're bound to get better. So you take those opportunities when you get them and use it as much as you can to help yourself.
How many? Who were you basically partnered with last year for the most?
It was mostly Ethan Edwards. Yeah, pretty much down the stretch it was almost all Ethan.
And how did that chemistry work? Why did that work so well with you and Ethan?
I think we have some similar play styles. We like to play offense, but we're obviously like I said, defensemen at heart, and we were really really good buddies off the ice, and I think that's the most important thing when in team chemistry and individual player to player chemistry is if the closer you are off the ice, the closer you'll be on the ice. I think we understood each other's game really well. Who's going to go, who's not going to go, that kind of thing. We're always on the same page there, and I think that worked pretty well together.
Seamus, do you at some point have the aspiration to kind of do what you did and jump to the levels at some point, or do you want to finish NHL? Your college career, or do you not know yet at this point?
Honestly, you just take it day by day. Like, I think, talking to management and seeing what's going to be the best route. Like, my goal is playing the NHL. I love Michigan. I'm thankful for everything Michigan's done, and there's parts of every person that plays college hockey. Like, college is a lot of fun. Like, just meeting all those people, and staying is never a bad option. I'd love to stay, and I want to play in the NHL. So whatever the best path forward is what I would take.
Okay, so this next player is quite intriguing because he's not going to be suiting up this week. And a lot of people are wondering, where is Chase Stillman at in terms of his development? Well, I don't really know what the plan is for him in the future, but obviously the Devils selected him in the first round back in 2021. They got that 29th overall selection via the Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac trade just a couple years ago. But here's a scouting report on Stillman. Call it a motor or energy or engagement or drive. Stillman has it. He is willing to go above and beyond, willing to play whatever role needed to the maximum of his ability, give his team the win. He knows when to go after to try and retrieve it, and will head to the best areas of the ice to get a scoring chance. So here's what Chase had to say, despite not being able to suit up this week.
It's always exciting to come back, and you're back in the NHL now, back in New Jersey in a facility like this, and with players like you're playing with. So it's always fun this time of year.
Does it feel kind of crazy to think that you're one of the guys here who've been here the most at these development camps?
Yeah, it's a little different now, thinking that it's my third one now, and guys come to the league, and the 05 is just getting drafted, and it's kind of a nice responsibility to be the guy to help out now, and tell them what to expect, and things to learn from.
Is that something that's been asked of you at this camp?
Yeah, definitely. One of the things too, I'm not skating this week down here, and I think that's one of the reasons why they brought me down, is still just to be kind of like a leadership example, and being one of the returning guys now is just help some of the younger guys, help some of the guys that maybe are even my age or a little bit older but just new to Jersey. So it's nice to be that guy.
What do you as a player learn from an experience like this? Because it's all compact, a lot of things happening at once, but what do you take from something like this?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just like the pro mentality. You come in here and now you're skating with everybody that's a pretty exceptional player. And practices are that much harder. It's just everything's faster. And I think the one thing you can take away is that when you go back into your summer training, that you want to practice and compete at this level.
What's it like coming into a camp like this, knowing that you're eligible to play, in Utica next year, and just sort of have that next step in your career?
Yeah, no, it's obviously a big jump. Playing pro for the first year, and hopefully I can play in New Jersey as fast as possible. But if I end in Utica, it's really exciting. It's obviously a big step for me, and for hockey-wise, but also just life-wise, for the first time being away from home, away from my Bell family, and I'm really looking forward to it.
What's the biggest jump in your game that you've seen, through your junior career to right now?
I think it's just starting to be kind of my identity. I think I'm starting to be, a little bit more comfortable with what's expected from me here in New Jersey, talking to Fitz and talking to Vokes and, what they want from me. And I think, I'm really starting to kind of fill into my shoes and be the player they want me to be.
Is that also, filling out who you are as a person? You talk about identity. That doesn't just mean something on the ice. It's off the ice as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think the biggest part of my game is that I'm a competitor, and I want to win. I don't want to be on a winning team and in a winning organization. And it looks like this is, the way that this organization is trending. And to be a part of it, it's going to be really exciting.
And then what does it mean to you to be part of an organization where they do give young kids or young players the opportunity to succeed?
Exactly. It's everything you can ask for. And the two things about hockey, it's opportunity and confidence, and you got to be ready for when you get it. And yeah, it's just it's really exciting knowing that they give a lot of guys chances here and a lot of opportunity, and not a lot of one and dones. That you might even if you mess up, they give you a second opportunity. So it's really nice.
Chase, it kind of went viral a couple weeks ago with that hit that you threw in the Memorial Cup. Can you kind of walk us through what happened there?
Yeah, it was funny. I didn't know I was going to get that much recognition as it did, but yeah, we were down 3-1, and through the course of that tournament, the first couple games, I didn't think we were playing where we wanted to be. I'm pretty sure we were pretty banged up. I think we were one of the most banged up teams going to that tournament, just with the route we took and how many games we played. But yeah, going into it, I don't know, down 3-1, I just figured. I think I hit the post earlier in that game, and I took a bad penalty, so I figured I had to do something to change something around, and an opportunity came. It's not like I was going out there to hurt anybody, but a guy cut across the middle, and I finished him, and then, I don't know, a second guy came in. I was a little bit more ready than he was, I guess.
Yeah, and is that the kind of game that we can expect you to bring to whether it's Utica or New Jersey?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's just a compete thing, like I said. I'm not a guy that's going out there just looking to murder guys or just run around and fight. I just think that happens the way that I play. And I'm a guy that's gonna get under guys' skin, not just with my mouth, but just the way that I play and being in guys' faces. And that's one of the things that I think that they expect from me is to be a hard-nosed player and a hard guy to play against, and that's what I'm trying to be.
How was it a World Cup experience for you?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and in a great city like Kamloops, it was really fun. They had a really good setup, and it's always fun. I've played with some guys at some international tournaments there, but that was my first time competing against them, so it was awesome.
What did it feel like between the crowd and the people and just the whole experience?
Yeah.
Did it feel like a regular season game, or you think it was
different?
A little higher?
Yeah, exactly. You could tell it was pretty special, and especially when we were playing Kamloops, the atmosphere. You really feel the atmosphere when we got pumped 10-1, which wasn't that fun, but it was really cool, and it was a really special city too.
Topias Vilen, the 6'1" defenseman out of Finland. Here's what the scouting report says on him. He earned his full time with the Pelicans with a reliable presence in his own zone, leveraging sound off the puck reads, stopping power, and is unrelenting motor to keep the opposition at bay. So here's what Vilen had to say when we met up with him in the locker room.
You guys spent a little bit of time. What's it sort of been like for these first years?
It's been good. Very tired of the testing this morning and stuff, but I think I need to rest next time.
What type of scoring have you seen in your game these last couple of years?
I think I got more physical and more speed on my game, and I got more confidence. So I think that's the most biggest thing.
One of the things that Dan McKinnon told me is that they're very high on you and what your potential could be. When you hear something like that from someone in that position, what does it mean to you, and what type of motivation does that present?
It means a lot to me. It's a lot of motivation to me to push myself forward. It's just a huge thing for me.
And what does it look like to you to push yourself forward? What's that next step, you think? Is it adjusting to being here?
Yeah, just adjust myself to be here and just improve my game and take my spot in the roster.
If you could describe what your game looks like to someone who's never seen you play, what would you say your biggest assets are, the things that make your game the best possible?
I think my biggest hitting in the game is my two-way game. I can defend well and move my puck forward fast, and I think my skating is I'm just so excited to come here.
Finally, so I was excited to come here after the last season, and I'm just looking forward to be here.
Is there anyone from the big league that was a mentor to you on Pelicans, that was a mentor or someone you looked up to?
I don't know if you know that one, but Teemu Eronen.
No.
Why?
Why?
I think he's been in my shoes when he was young. He was a talented guy, so he's been telling me a lot of good stuff, and I've been following him.
You talked a little bit about your physicality.
Yeah.
When did that start to pick up? Was that something that you just started, really learning this past season?
Yeah, I think last summer was the biggest summer of my career. I improved a lot of my physicality there.
What are some of the goals you've set for yourself this upcoming year?
To take my spot on the roster, that's the biggest thing.
For anyone who hasn't seen, what are some of the highlights for your personal play this past year?
I don't know, maybe the 2 goals against TPS. At the finals, we got in the finals, but unfortunately we lost.
What are some of the ways you are working out to improve your game?
I just need to, look guys that are better than me and just follow those footsteps.
What did you take away from that one game in the playoffs in Utica?
I think the speed on the game was so much faster than in Finland, especially in the playoffs. So I think that was the biggest thing.
And the coaches, what have they told you they wanted you to work on? The coaches here with New Jersey.
I think the speed on my game.
So speed?
Yeah, just to move the puck.
Now, when you talk about the speed of your game, what aspect is that as far as defenseman goes? Is that
like gaps up and move the puck forward faster?
Do you think it was important for you, even though it was just one game, to sort of get that taste knowing you were going into a summer trying to push for a spot? Was that an important thing?
Yeah, I think so. It was important to come here. So I get to know a little bit to the guys and to the North America game.
How about your brother Elias?
Yeah.
What kind of impact has he had on your career?
I think huge. I started hockey because of him, so he had a huge impact in my career.
Talk a little about that. He was playing and you were watching him. What was going on there?
Yeah, he started earlier than me, 2 years, so I can't even remember, but I just know that.
Is he a forward? Or?
Yeah, forward.
Oh, so there you go. So you guys like going against one another.
Yeah.
Is that why you're defensive?
Yeah. I think he's older than he get to choose.
I just want to go back a little bit to what we were saying before again with Dan McKinnon saying that when you're someone who has been, in Europe sort of playing there, but the team already thinks that highly of you. Like how to hear that, what does that mean to a person and someone who's trying to make a career in this league?
I think everyone wants to hear that from the coach you're playing for the next season. I think it's just huge thing. I can't say how huge that is for me, and that just motivates me a lot to push myself forward.
What other things in your life motivate you?
That's a tough question.
Or is it just you who motivates yourself?
Yeah, me and just to watch better players. I think that.
Did it motivate you after being drafted so late? Do you feel as though?
Yeah, I just wanted to be the steal of the draft.
For people who might be unfamiliar with your game, how would you describe it? What are some of your strengths?
I think my skating and my defensive plays.
Are there any players in the NHL that you sort of model your game after, or maybe watch to see how they do certain things?
There's a couple in Jersey there's Dougie Hamilton.
Yeah.
That's
Sits right there.
yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna say that.
Okay, perfect.
So you feel as though you want to challenge for a roster spot at a training camp? Is that your goal?
Yeah, my goal is to be my best in the training camp and hopefully make the roster.
We were talking to Lenni Hameenaho earlier, and he said that you were one of the toughest he's gone against in practices. You guys played internationally together. What can you tell me about Lenny? Good player, good draft pick there?
Yeah, great draft pick for you guys, and he got a great shot. I think he can score a lot of goals for this team, and I'm just happy you guys drafted him.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's unique episode of me providing some of these player profiles and who you should keep an eye out for down the line in the prospect pool for the Devils, because I know they are contending for the time being, but it still does not take away from the fact that they have a lot of talent in their prospect pool, and those are just a few of the players, once again, to be excited for if they ever do reach the NHL level. So let me know what you guys think. What other players should I keep my eye out for the rest of the development camp? So Trey Matthews signing out from RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House. Once again, as I do to close out every show, continue to stay safe. Have a wonderful day, New Jersey. Go Devils. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for listening once again.